Yeah, so I see that ClickFunnels Dream Car Award. It's sitting back there behind you on the desk. So what that
Yeah.
means, if you're not familiar, listener, is that you did well. You achieved enough active members to get to the point where ClickFunnels would not only give you that little trophy, but give you some money each month for a car, which is always cool, and probably maybe even got your picture on stage if you showed up in person. But the thing is about that award is it's pretty exclusive. And what I mean by that is if you flip through the program of any funnel hacking live event and look at the Two Comma Club award winners, you'll see hundreds, couple hundred people who win the Two Comma Club award every year for generating over $1 million in their business. And then when you flip to the Dream Car winners, the affiliates who have hit that threshold, it's like 25 people in the entire world. So it's a pretty exclusive award. Maybe there's not as many people going after it, but either way, it takes some skill to get there. So, what did you do to get there?
uh, Everything and anything that I could get my hands on. So I remember the ad from Russell said, do it in 100 days. And it took me a little bit longer than that. It took me about 18, 19 months in the end. But that was my just try everything phase. It started in 17 with blogging through Greg Jeffries, who you probably know. Because of the job that I was in, the clients we were working with were quite high profile. Like I was working on the bankruptcy of the biggest coal company in North America. And I was kind of pretty high up in terms of leading the team that was running that. And so I couldn't have a public presence doing other things. It would have been seen as a conflict. And I'm in another country, right? I was supporting my partner. It's like, I'm not going to jeopardize this, but I really wanted to be able to hit the ground running when I got back to Australia. And so I started blogging kind of behind the scenes. So that was the first part. First 9 months or so did like 20K with that. So it wasn't, huge numbers, but it gave me a bit of proof of concept that hey, there's something here. And then when I got back to Australia in 2018, I took a bit of time off work because I was just completely hooked from the hours in New York, which are just stupid. And I was like, this is kind of now or never. I don't have kids. I don't have a mortgage. Like life's never going to get simpler. It's only going to get more complicated from here. So I've got to work it out. Right. And I just went kind of head first. I remember I got back and then went to take a trip down to Melbourne. I go back and forth to Melbourne a little bit to watch football. And this was just after I got back from New York, and I hadn't looked at the website for a while. And I remember sitting down and pulling up my laptop and diving back into the website again. And I always remember that moment as kind of like, that was when it all really kicked off back in Australia. And from that, it was more of the blogging, got into the ads game a little bit, some Facebook ads, some Google ads, started the Facebook group early that year. And that was just me sprouting the stuff that I'd done thus far, which is little to nothing at that point, but people were interested, right? There's always a couple of people who are, a few steps behind you, and people seemed interested in listening. And I just started talking about stuff that a lot of other people were charging for. And I was just kind of doing it for free. I was like, hey, I tried this, I tried that, this worked, this didn't work. You can see that. And I was just really like open book. And that kind of got the audience growth to start happening. I was offering, unlimited messenger coaching if you join ClickFunnels, and then that quickly became something I definitely didn't want to do. I had a lady come back to me like 3 years later, and she's like, "Hey, can I still get that?" I'm like, "No, that's not happening." So yeah, it was literally everything. I got into the personal branding game, ads, the blog, and it was just bootstrap your way there.